Well, here we sit. More hope, only to lead on to more divide within the DC fandom. You know, it's crazy to think that there was a time when DC fans were, as one excited about something coming out. But here we sit, yet again, more divide taking place within the fandom. And this isn't to blame someone like David Ayer, who wants to see his cut of the film release of Suicide Squad that came out in 2016. That's fine. Honestly, more power to him, because I think it being released is more important than not being released, and would show some goodwill towards David Ayer, because he was all wrapped up in the bullshit that happened during that time and era of Warner Brothers and DC. But if we take a look here, David Ayer was called out, not to call out David Ayer but by saying this, but you do know this was released back in 2016, right? And it's talking about a photo that he released just the other day. But he responds, "What's your advice on how to navigate this situation with grace? There's a genuine curiosity and interest from a lot of people, and I'm aware there is another group of people that have fun mocking the film. Your comment is a perfect example of how many are magnetically drawn discussion to the 2016 film in a negative way. Have you ever had an experience in life that didn't until the way you wanted, that dragged you, that made you rethink everything? I have. All I know is my unseen film plays much better than the studio release. The interest in my cut being shown seems real and organic. And Gunn told me, and this is the big part here that people need to pay attention to, Gunn told me it would have its time to be shared. He absolutely deserves to launch his DC universe without more drama about old projects. In a way, I'm chained to this thing. I'm riding a tiger here and navigating this situation the best I can. Life is a very strange journey. Welcome to my TED Talk." Now, like I said, this is all well and good. He has the ability, and he should have the ability to show his movie, the one that he made, just as Zack Snyder had a chance to with Justice League. One thing I love about this is how David Ayer says James Gunn absolutely deserves to launch his DC universe without more drama about old projects. You hear that, Snyder cult. You hear that, Snyder fans. You hear what David Ayer is saying. The one man, one of the men that you hold to such high esteem and are supporting so much, is saying, hey, look, I understand. He understands that there's a want for his cut of the movie. But he believes that James Gunn deserves to launch his DC universe without drama regarding old projects. It's very important to keep in mind there. But the problem is, you then have those grifters. You have those lack of a better word, assholes, who are out there who want to just continuously throw a wrench into the mix, build the divide within the DC fandom, because without it, they get nothing. They get no clout. They get no following. They get no money. They get nothing. And no one is more a spokesperson of that than Mr. Sil Abdul. He goes, "My opinion is that James Gunn has handled the DC transition horribly. Ayer even stated there is an audience for this cut now. Literally no reason not to release now. All indications point to Gunn not wanting to release Ayer cut till after Creature Commandos and Superman Legacy. I say just sell this thing." You take a look at what David Ayer said. David Ayer talks about how Gunn is on board with it. But David Ayer understands that, hey, Gunn has to worry about his DC universe right now. David Ayer's Suicide Squad, his cut, will have its day. Gunn has told him that. So why is Sil Abdul sitting here saying that there's no reason not to release it now, that that Gunn is handling it wrong? Because Gunn hasn't handled everything wrong. I will say he has made some interesting choices. You know, the way that he handled, helping promote Flash and at this point Blue Beetle hasn't been great. But again, most of his work has not been bad. You can't sit there and build a universe and expect fans to just buy into it years from now. No, they know he's building a universe. He had to announce some things. Casting had to come out. The only thing that I think has really been bad, besides the Flash and Blue Beetle promotion that hasn't been great, is the fact that we don't know if it's a full reboot or not. Simply because of this whole idea that we have Gal Gadot supposedly still in here and Jason Momoa. But besides that, to say that he's handled the transition horribly, the only reason why he's saying this is because he wants people to watch his channel. That's all it is. But then he says, so the feeling is that James Gunn is stringing David Ayer along? And he does question it. He's not saying, it's not a statement he's making, he's questioning it. But why even say anything like that unless you want divide, toxicity to build up within the fandom? This is what I've been talking about for so long, is we don't need to see this divide anymore. We don't need to see everyone just at each other's throats. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. David Ayer called, we need to allow James Gunn to build his DC without the drama of previous projects. Zack Snyder is excited for Blue Beetle, which isn't even a James Gunn movie. Yet, all the Snyder fans, they don't care. They don't care. All they care about is getting what they want. Be damned any other artist out there. Any other filmmaker, any other actor. And that is the problem with the DC fandom right now. Sure, David Ayer gave us some hope. I want to see the Ayer cut. I'd love to see the Ayer cut. He gave us some hope that it's a possibility. But unfortunately, you have people like Sil Abdul, and I know there's others. I know I am just calling out Sil here, but I know there's others out there. But you have people like Sil who are utilizing and taking this opportunity to just enhance the divide for their own personal gain. And it's wrong. And enough is enough. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say. But with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. With all that said, talk to all of you later.